Hey, this is Pete Rose. You're listening to Sports Rap Live and Sports Talk 790 AM.
That's right. That's the all-time hit king, Pete Rose, checking in for Sports Rap Live. Shout out to Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle. Now, K-Dubb, who you guys know, jumps on with us when we talk baseball. Did your dad actually play against Pete Rose in his day?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That was part of the
Do you remember growing up watching Pete Rose play?
Yes, I do.
Tell us a little bit about watching him. I remember the very end of his career. He played in the Astrodome a few times when I was out there watching the Astros play. But tell us about growing up watching Pete Rose play baseball.
You know, I think, you know, especially looking at the way the game is played now, he was a very scrappy player. Like, he would almost, like, you know, you kind of look at some of the people that kind of followed his model. The people that followed his model, you know, kind of, you know, the Lenny Dykstra kind of guy, you know, a guy who's going to stick in there and
dirty,
going to put the ball in play, you know, teeny strike zone like Ricky Henderson, and, you know, and an immaculate eye. You know, I think he was an underrated fielder too. So, but I mean, just the fact is that the man put the ball in play more than anyone else in the history of the game, and it was for a reason.
What kind of guy do you remember him being in the clubhouse, in the hallway after the game?
Well,
all about his business, very,
you know,
not personal.
I think back in the 70s and the 80s, it was a different kind of a personality. I mean, clearly they weren't the mega corporations that they are now. So, but as far as from a character standpoint, you know, it probably wouldn't have been someone that you wanted your kids to kind of, but he had kids of his own. Like I said, I knew Pete Rose Jr. very well, and you kind of looked at what happened with him in his career and, you know, getting caught up in certain situations that were, bottom line, his dad, you know, whether he co-signed for him or not, I mean, it was
You're still the son of Pete Rose.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, so he definitely was a character, but he was driven to be, you know, to get the most out of his talent, and I think a lot of people respected him for that.
We kind of got that feeling meeting him in Vegas when we got the drop. He was doing a signing, which he always does. You can find Pete pretty much anywhere in Vegas these days doing autograph signings.
Right.
But, you know, nice guy, but you could tell, keep moving, keep on moving, you know,
right.
keep it moving. Who's next? Who's next up?
Right.
And I get it. It was that mentality back then when ball players, they were ball players, you know, that's it. They came to the park to play ball and worry about endorsements or you know, multi-million-dollar contracts. They were there to get dirty and play baseball.
Right, absolutely.
All right, well, let's officially get into the Martinez Report, brought to you by
me,
the Andrew Martinez, where we keep our eye on the diamond each and every week here on Sports Rap Live. And interleague play starts up, something that your dad really never had in his career.
Right.
This is something that's been in our generation that we've seen manifest itself.
Right.
Now we're how many years into it? 94, 96 was right around the first time they introduced interleague
been
play.
That long?
Yeah. It has. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Wow. It's been a while. Because I remember Colorado was pretty new to the league right after they started, or a couple years later, they started doing interleague play. Well, the Rangers and Astros, obviously, in Houston is the top of the list. And you asked the question, is this really a rivalry?
What do you think? What is your opinion? Do you think this is a rivalry? 97 was the first year, by the way.
97, okay.
Here's how you know it's a rivalry. Here's how you know it's a rivalry. If both teams tell you it's a rivalry. I think if you went and asked the Rangers fans, are the Astros one of their rivals? I think it'd take a while before we got to them as them listing us as one of the rivals. So I don't think they take us seriously as a rival at all.
Is that because they dominated the series since this Silver Boot series has started?
It's that, but it's also why would they view Houston as it's a team they see once at home and once on the road. We never have really met in the playoffs when things are really on the line. We've never kept them, it's one thing if you keep another team from doing something they really want to do, you play the spoiler to them, or you kind of have bad blood between the players. There's never really been bad blood amongst the players from the Astros to the Rangers. At all. There might be a city rivalry between us and Houston and Dallas. I can understand that, but I don't really feel any sort of vibe that this is a real rivalry. I think it's just geography is all it is.
It is. It's a interstate rivalry, so of course, Major League Baseball and the fans of both teams would like to see it become a rivalry.
Once we're in the same division, yeah, maybe. But, I mean, we're so far away from – I mean, it might be 10 years before this actually becomes a real rivalry where we are actually good enough to keep them from something, or we actually have some sort of bad blood between our players and their players. But at this point, it's them and then us trying to, like, play little brother.
It's people cheering like we haven't heard all season long for Josh Hamilton when he comes to bat, for David Murphy when he hits in the park home run. But Saturday, you said it felt a little bit like a rivalry.
It was. They were down by 4 runs. They came back to win 6-5, and it ended on a crazy Brett Myers play, at the end to get the save. But it didn't really feel to me in watching that game that it was anything more than that. It was a really good atmosphere, though. It was a great game. It was very competitive. Astros got down, like I said, and came back, so it was a fun win, and it was a fun time to be an Astros fan because of the way they won. But at no point did I think, like, you know what? There's something here. I just thought it was a really good night for baseball.
Let me ask K-Dub, do you consider this a rivalry, or do you think this is something that's going to have to grow, like Andrew said?
I think what we do have is the regional thing. And I think because there is a real rivalry, let's say, between the Rockets and the Mavericks, where there is a real
Cowboys and Texans now,
where there's actually, like I said, there's something on the line. So I think that just by the nature of this already being taking place is just, taking it to the next level. But, from a competitive standpoint, absolutely not.
Right.
But even if you saw the T-shirts there, I mean, it was a ton of Rangers fans.
A
ton of Rangers fans. It's not like and it wasn't like the Astros fans were like, saying, "Oh, shut up." They were getting their little boo thing going back and forth and kind of yelling at each other. But at no point did you think, "Oh, this is going to get crazy like a Red Sox Yankee kind of thing," where people are going to have to be, thrown out or people are going to get into a fight.
Well, and it also tells you this was the best attendance for a series at Minute Maid Park in, this year for
season,
sure. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
I think if nothing else, this is what's good about the Rangers versus the Astros is the Astros are going to have at least one team within their division next year that's going to draw fans to the park every night. Even if, against the Cardinals come in, that's not really going to bring the fans
Same
out.
thing, more Cardinal fans than Astro
Tomorrow
fans.
you're going to see it against the Cubs. There's going to be probably a more louder, fan base of Cubs fans than there will be Astros fans. But at least, when the Astros play the Rangers, the Astros will have at least a capacity crowd with a full stadium of people that like Texas baseball. So you at least got that.
It's kind of funny, though, for the Astros because as they make the move to the American League next year, it's going to be flip-flops. All of a sudden, their interleague play is going to be against the National League teams who they've played now for 50 years.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, though, as far as other news.
All right.
But overall for the weekend, I think what we learned, in us playing the number one team in baseball, is that the bullpen's pretty good. The first game, 3 innings pitched to the bullpen and 1 earned run given up. Then the next night on Saturday, 3.1 innings pitched, 1 earned run given up. And then today, 4 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. So overall, 10.1 innings pitched at him, 2 earned runs. That's a pretty damn good weekend for the bullpen. They're, quote, the regulators, led by Brett Myers.
Yep.
That's a pretty good weekend for them.
Not bad against the best offense we've seen in years.
So I kudos to them. Congrats to them for a good weekend.
Definitely so. All right, well, let's talk about a couple other good series we saw this weekend, Andrew, as we wrap up the weekend and the weekend baseball.
Indians, Marlins, that's what Interleague play is built around. The Pirates and the Tigers, the D-backs and the Royals. I really don't understand. This is what you get with Interleague play that I don't understand how that benefits those fan bases. Like, are the Royals fans really getting excited to have the D-backs come in? Are the Marlins really excited to have the Indians come in? Do they still hold that grudge from that World Series back, forever ages ago?
Well, it's possible.
They don't. Those people in Miami are so far away. They don't care.
It's a reach, but
it's enough for ESPN to talk about.
Right. We're talking about production-ready kind of situation.
But I don't think that really gets people out to the park. I think Chicago versus Chicago, Houston versus Dallas. I think those kind of regional things get it going. But whenever you have the D-backs and the Royals, what does Arizona care about Kansas City?
Okay, but here's the thing though. I mean, this is also part of where TV kind of rears its ugly head in terms of its power over the scheduling. Is that at the end of the day, what pays for that game, whether the players show up or not, or whether the people show up or not, is the TV contract.
Oh, I agree. The fans definitely come out, but I don't understand why the fans will come out for those series. I think overall you are right, and the numbers bear that out. That interleague play is, does bring the fans out. But I don't understand what the fans get out of series like these.
But who's going to come out to the same Diamondbacks that you're talking about and the Pirates? It's the same thing. At least this is a team that you're not going to see on a regular basis.
I mean, watching the pitcher hit, watching the DH, and I don't understand the great draw. But
are you pro? You like interleague play?
I like interleague play.
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys. I prefer to see everybody go to DH. I mean, it's like the whole traditional thing about having the pitcher hit. I mean, it's cool for the traditional side of it. And the only thing that's really cool about that is, okay, if a guy hits you, he's got to come up and face the music.
Yeah.
But from a fan standpoint, a casual fan, the things that kind of confuse people about baseball with the American
Different
League
rules,
and
right.
different rules, I would like this, and I kind of think that interleague baseball shows, it showcases that it's possible for American League teams to play National League style baseball, which is, it's more about situational.
Well,
hitting.
I'll tell you what, next year we're going to have it every single day because with the Astros into the AL West, you're going to have interleague play every single day. There's going to be an AL versus an NL team every night of the season.
The entire season?
Yes. For now into the future, every night we'll have interleague play.
So the entire season is now interleague?
Next season it will be.
Yep.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, so you're going to have it every night. I hate interleague play. I think it's terrible. But now that you're going to have it every day next year, it might be balanced out to the schedule. It might balance out with the schedule. The reason I don't like it is because I don't like the way the schedule is set up. I think that might buoy itself out, weigh itself out with the everyday, it being the nature of it, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, hey, we'll see if you guys make it home safe and sound tonight after you leave Junction Bar and Grill. But if you don't and you happen to get pulled over, you guys want to have my man Gary Trichter's telephone number locked into your phone, and that is H-Town's top DWI lawyer. And have yourself a non-drinking designated driver or take a cab or a limo home. Both cost a lot less than calling Gary Trichter. If you do decide to drink and drive, do not have any open containers of alcohol in your car. Do not leave with the red cups here from Junction Bar and Grill with something in your cup. Please do not.
Yeah, we need to pass out a few of those cards to DJ Tito's table over there in the corner.
Absolutely.
I got the crooked table here, man.
Hey, that's all right. And they're driving home, so we want them to plug that number into their phone.
They got the designated driver. They do.
And if you do get pulled over, do not hot dog it. Do not do donuts in your 370Z out there.
They're going to be doing drifting. They're going to drift their way out of here,
drift their way right to jail. Exactly. They don't
You're
have.
a drunk king, not a drift king.
That's right. That's right.
But that's why we're giving them Gary Trichter's number.
Too blasted, too furious. Yes, and that number is 713-524-1010. Put it in your phone right now because it's going to cost you over $12,000 if you decide not to in court costs, insurance costs. Actually, your insurance premiums are going to go up, and you're going to have to do some time in jail, possibly. And it's just going to be a big mess. So save yourself the time, the headache, and the hangover, and call Gary Trichter at 713-524-1010 and visit TexasDWILaw.com.
I just want to get to a few, remaining baseball nuggets before we get into the power rankings.
Absolutely.
Just some news and notes from the weekend. Aroldis Chapman was finally named the Reds closer. He has been yo-yoed around as, maybe he's going to be the starter.
Yo-yo.
Yeah,
yo-yo Sundays.
Not YOLO, yo-yo. So he's been bounced around between being a starter, being a setup man. He's finally going to be the closer. So that's a good step for him. Terrible, terrible news today, Adam. Our favorite guy, one of my favorite players in probably a long, long time, Lance Berkman, he might have to call it quits after he fears that he has an ACL tear in his knee, and he thinks that if it is an ACL tear, he's probably going to retire. So this might have been...
Well, the news broke this morning that he was going on the 15-day DL, and then now it looks like it could be a tear.
He's saying that if it is an ACL tear, he might not do the rehab and want to come back, that he might just call it a career. I don't think he will. I think he will come back. I think he realizes how good this team is and how good this team can be with him on it. I think he will push back. But if it's a full year... it's kind of tough to tell a guy that has accomplished so much in his career, who already has. He just come off, winning a World Series title last year, that there's more to accomplish for him. So, I mean, one of my guys that's near and dear to my heart, being a former Rice Al myself, but I hate to see that happen.
Absolutely so. Absolutely so. A couple other notes from Major League Baseball. Tim Lincecum, still busted.
Dude, nine starts, still an ERA over 6. So.
What do you think that is, KW? You think it's the rest of the league kind of catching up to him, or do you think it's his frame, it's his actual mechanics and his body?
I mean, he's called the freak for a reason.
Well,
right.
He's got a very stressful pitching motion, and that you can get away with it when you're at 95, 96 miles an hour, but guys can catch 92.
He's down to 90.
Right. That's like a step above batting practice.
That's like self-serve ice cream.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And if he's keeping the
Put
ball
some extra
up,
sprinkles on top of that one.
it's clear that his mechanics are off. So I think he's hurting. You know, he's probably trying to tough it out for the team.
Yep.
Because he just signed,
I really wish he did have an injury because then you'd be able to explain it. You know, then we'd have a reason and say, oh, it's this.
Well, and that's the thing about baseball is that, like I say, you know, it's not like basketball or football where an injury will keep you out of a game. It's like, even with your high-dollar pitchers, these guys still have the mentality of I've got to go out there and I'm going to think my way into being, you know, overcompensating for whatever is not working physically. So, you know, you look at Derek Jeter last year. Clearly he was hurt.
He was hurt.
Clearly, but he went out there every day and pretty much to the detriment of the Yankees.
And he got smashed in the media for it, too.
Right.
So you take that on top of the actual physical injury, that's a lot to deal with.
Right. So I think that's where Tim Lincecum is at.
Guys on the way out, though, Adam. Kerry Wood on Friday pitched his last game.
Yes.
It's a feel-good story. You know, his kid greeted him there in the dugout. He was finally able to there. I'm sure you kind of had some sentiment about that,
absolutely.
seeing, you know, with the father-son situation going on and whatnot. But it was good to see him finally, you know, go out on his terms. Things weren't obviously going right for him. He felt that he was a detriment to the team and he wasn't able to help. So it was nice to see him, though, in Chicago, Interleague Series, you know, the hometown crowd. You know, obviously people are going to remember him for the 20 strikeout game, one hitter against the Houston Astros. But, you know, it's unfortunate.
Oh, yeah, definitely sad. I mean, the guy had such great talent. I mean, you know, he couldn't.
Don't make that joke.
Kerry Wood, I thought that was DJ Tito's stage name.
Nah, don't make that joke.
Hey, I thought we weren't bringing that up to discussion today.
I tried to come off the pass. All right, Adam, Power Rankings time.
All right, let's do it now. You guys know that each and every Sunday night, Andrew Martinez brings you his insight, his knowledge, and his love of the game of Major League Baseball with his Power Rankings. And it looks like they've changed up a little bit. We've got some teams that I was really surprised. It's still funny because this number 5 team right here, you had somebody else in that place and you said, nah, I'll take Toronto off and I'll put who in?
The Orioles. I've been trying to fight the Orioles to having them in there because I don't think they're for real, but it's getting to the point to where I can't ignore them anymore. The second best record in baseball, I mean, they arguably could have the best record in baseball depending on how this Cardinals game goes. But, you know, they're AL best 27-15, so 12 games over 500. They're the MLB best 15-6 on the road. Jason Hamill and Jim Johnson, that's their starter and closer right there. They're playing outstanding baseball right now. And Adam Jones is probably having the best season of any player in baseball right now that's not named Josh Hamilton. He is really having a great season.
And in extra innings is when he does his own work.
Yes, he has been outstanding. He's having sort of a Matt Kemp type rise to his season.
Let me ask K-Dubb, the importance of the Baltimore Orioles being relevant in baseball is blank.
Well,
it makes that division is already tough as hell, but now it makes it even tougher.
You know what you have now is you have a division where everybody's competitive. You know, you hate to see a Toronto or a Baltimore have to suffer at the expense of a Tampa Bay or constantly Yankee, Red Sox kind of deal.
I said this team might get last, Adam, like in the division, like maybe even towards the bottom of the whole AL. But
they have the best closer right now.
They might. You're right. They might.
Jim Johnson is
nasty.
He's spot on.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe Papelbon, maybe somewhere in the mix in there. But
no, he's been very good. You're definitely right. Our number 4 team, Adam, this team that we've had, I've kind of had all over the place in the top 5.
And we have here on the TVs, and they are leading 6-5.
Is the Dodgers. And AJ and Mark Ellis are kind of the unsung heroes of this team. And Mark Ellis is really scary. He's probably going to be out for 6 weeks. He almost had to have his leg amputated. The team doctor had waited too long. He had pressure that was building up in his kneecap, and they had to relieve it. And if they had not done it in time, could have had his leg taken.
What?
So that was the second baseman for the Dodgers this past weekend.
Right.
How does that happen?
Yeah. So kind of scary. But those two players are really having a good season for them. AJ Ellis doesn't get nearly enough credit as their catcher. But Ted Lilly, Chris Capuano, Mark Kerrang, that's a good 2 through 4 that we really don't talk about. And Chad Billingsley is the person we do not speak of because he is just broken for that rotation. He's just not. He hasn't been the same pitcher in a while.
How's Clayton been pitching lately? Kershaw.
Oh, outstanding. I mean, he's still the reigning NL Cy Young winner for a reason. He's just amazing.
Okay.
Texan, by the way, Texan.
One more question for you. The importance of the LA Dodgers being relevant in Major League Baseball is
very, very high.
Okay. We went from to yes. We need the Dodgers in the mix.
It's that major market.
Right. It's a major market. You know, a lot of historical value, and then their positioning just being on the West Coast.
And the Angels are down right now, so you need one of the 2 LA teams to carry the market.
The Angels are down. The A's are down.
And they got that Magic Johnson kind of bluster right now going on.
Right.
They really do.
Yeah.
They really do. All right, your number 3 team is the
Barbs.
The Barbs.
The Barbs haven't lost 2 in a row since the turn of the month.
Tell people who that is.
That's the Braves. That's the Barbs. They're quietly consistent. It's a good mix of offense and pitching, and it seems like Michael Bourne, once he got there from the Astros, he's really helped stabilize that offense. He's a great leadoff hitter. He's once again leading the National League, I think, he's second place in stolen bases behind Emilio Bonifacio, I think. But he's really helping them have one of the best outfields in baseball.
Shout out to Michael Bourne, another ex-Astro who goes on to great success with another team.
Another Texan.
Yes, definitely. Well, you know, the Barbs, as you call them, the Braves, they're not going to really kill you with their star power. Chipper Jones, he's still doing what Chipper Jones does. He's
alive?
He's still alive, and he's
playing,
still playing baseball.
Wow. He plays like every Sunday and like Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much, and he plays golf the rest of the week.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Yeah,
he's hurt, but he's still get outside there every once in a while.
He's still doing Chipper Jones.
He's still got the drama factor too.
Jason Hayward, we talked about him.
Hayward is definitely a solid.
Awesome.
Does he still bring that wood? Pause.
Hey,
No, really.
hey.
Does he still? I mean,
Jason
he was
Hayward?
a beast.
Oh, he is a beast.
I don't think this team is going to have that kind of collapse we saw last year, Adam. I really think this division is going to be theirs by the come the end of August.
And they collapse to the next team on your power rankings, which are actually losing to the Dodgers.
The Cardinals have been on a really rough patch lately, and the loss of Bergman could be huge as well. But I think overall, the resume of their season, it still outweighs all the bad stuff that's happened lately. I think Matt Adams, who's a prospect that just came up. Yep. He's going to be their first baseman. He's going to get his chance now. And that offense is still really, really good. You still have Rafael Furcal, Carlos Beltran. You still have a lot of guys that are in there producing. They might have the best outfield in baseball when they're all healthy. Adam Wainwright has been their worst pitcher this year.
We thought he was going to be the biggest plus of this team.
Yeah,
which
is really saying something. Jake Westbrook has really stepped up. Lance Lynn, they have a lot of, and it's amazing they're doing it without their pitching coach from last year. So, and they still have Shelby Miller lurking in the minors. So I think this Cardinals team still has a lot of potential and can still go even higher. Number 1.
All right, wait. Tito's got the official Big Kettle drum roll for Shoutout Sundays on the Sports Wrap Live Sunday night wrap-up. Major League Baseball Power Rankings in the Martinez Report. And this week, it remains the same.
The Rangers.
The Texas Rangers. Yeah,
King stay the king.
They have stayed the king now for weeks on end.
It's really them and everybody else.
Nights.
I don't know that they're, there's talk about them being one of the most historically great teams that we've seen in the last 2 decades, 2 or 3 decades. I think that's a bit much, but I'll tell you what, right now it's them and everybody else. They're still healthy. And as long as they're healthy, I don't see a reason why this team can't, put up some ridiculous numbers. I think 100 wins is probably their max, but they're not going to win something like
100 flat?
Yeah, I think it's about their ceiling. I don't think they're like 112 win team or something like that.
I
or
think
105, but I think 100 is the limit for them.
I think they'll reach 100 because they're going to rest a lot of guys. Is that right? They're going to once they win the division, which they will do probably 2 weeks after the All-Star break.
Oh, they're going to be well ahead. That's the thing is they're probably going to get complacent for a little while there and say what's going on, but they'll pick it right back up at the end of the season.
Exactly. Real quick before we go to break, Andrew, the Major League Baseball first-year player draft is June 4th, 2 weeks from tomorrow. Players in the mix. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
Mark Appel out of Stanford. He's kind of been the consensus for a while, but now his stock's starting to drop. It's probably going to be between him and Byron Buxton, who is the center fielder from high school in Georgia. So it's really the safe pick versus the high upside, high risk player in Buxton. So we'll see. This week, I just want to touch on before we get out of here, is the Astros are going to face 3 games at home for the Cubs, and they're going to go on a road to face the Dodgers for 3 more. So
who we already faced at Minute Maid this year. Any players from the Houston area we need to look for that are going to come out in this draft, K-Dub, that you can think of?
It's funny that you say that. I was talking to my dad. There are a couple of guys, so maybe we'll come back on the break and talk about that.
Yeah, we're going to break it off real bad and come right back.
There you go. All right. Well, so next week, give us a couple of these players that we can preview in the draft coming up on June 4th.
Perfect.
All right. Well, there it is. K-Dub, the Andrew Martinez, myself, Adam Rapp, DJ Tito, and Kadoma are here. And it is Shoutout Sundays. And when we get back, we're going to bring my man Sean Price back on the phone to wrap up his experience in H-Town as we took him over there to Raging Cajun to get some of them mud bugs that you can't find in Brooklyn. And we're going to get the man Hardcore to jump on with us for Shoutout Sundays. So shout out to Baker Tuning in the building, all the Car Club,
Underground
Rat
Graphics
Pack,
in here too.
Underground Graphics, everybody that's in the building tonight, Soccer Talker Luis, intern Matt, they're all here. J Nature holding down the tripod as always, right here on Sports Rap Live. Stick around, we'll be right back.
Wait a minute.